Evening, I'm your host, King Crucial the Great. I'm here with our co-host tonight, King Chaos the Great. Welcome to the stage,
Yo,
my brother, and King Prophet. What it do? Welcome to the stage, my brother. So we got another reaction video for everyone tonight. We're gonna bring it up, get these fellows on game. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date. And with that, Chaos.
Let's hear the question from this very low-rated anchor at CB.
Thank you, President. Have you been to ask President Haley to help return the man who your administration says was mistakenly deported?
Let's hear the question from this very low-rated anchor at CB.
Thank you, President. Have you been to ask President Haley to help return the man who your administration says was mistakenly deported? The man who was mistakenly deported to El Salvador?
Well, let me ask Pam, would you answer that question?
Sure, President. First and foremost, he was illegally in our country. He had been illegally in our country. And in 2019, two courts, an immigration court and an appellate immigration court, ruled that he was a member of MS-13 and he was illegally in our country. Right now, it was additional paperwork had needed to be done. That's up to El Salvador if they want to return him. That's not up to us. The Supreme Court ruled, President, that if, as El Salvador wants to return him, this is international matters, foreign affairs. If they wanted to return him, we would facilitate it, meaning provide a plane.
So will you return him?
And you are doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stephen Miller, wait a minute. Can you just also respond to that question? Because, it's asked by CNN and they always ask it with a slant because they're totally slanted because they don't know what's happening. That's why nobody's watching them. But would you answer that question also?
Yes, gladly. So as Pam mentioned, there's an illegal alien from El Salvador. So with respect to you, he's a citizen of El Salvador. So it's very arrogant even for American media to suggest that we would even tell El Salvador how to handle their own citizens as a starting point. As two immigration courts found that he was a member of MS-13. When President Trump declared MS-13 to be a foreign terrorist organization, that meant that he was no longer eligible under federal law, which I'm sure you know, you're very familiar with the INA, that he was no longer eligible for any form of immigration relief in the United States. So he had a deportation order that was valid.
Let's start with you. What are your thoughts, bro?
Let's wait.
I said Prophet. We started with Prophet. Prophet, you are our guest tonight. What are your thoughts, bro?
I mean, I can only go off from what I've just seen, but
Exactly.
if everything that they're saying is true, then why would you want somebody like that back into this country? You know what I mean? Like, they're saying that he was part of one of the most notorious Spanish gangs out there that have done hits for cartels. They're known for their ruthlessness. They're mercenaries. They're paid to, they're hired kills. Like, that's who they are. They've been sent 13, and these people know better than I do, and they're saying that he was part of this gang. I think from what I've seen, he shouldn't be here, and he shouldn't be allowed back here at all under any circumstances whatsoever. So,
Chaos, what you got for us?
Well, oh yeah, that's great. First of all, I like to say, Uncle Donnie, you are hilarious.
Hey, he played it like a player, then he like, yo, he said, you want to answer this?
Everybody's watching you guys.
All right, go ahead. You can answer that. Oh, you want to answer this too? Okay, you can answer this. Go ahead, answer it. He played like a G.
The president did his job. He delegated the answer to the expert, and the expert answered the question clearly. Even though we all know that, like the president said, the question had a little spin to it, but it was, of course, knocked out the park like I do the curveballs.
All right. All right.
We gonna continue the video?
We
Did you want to
continue
keep
the
going?
video,
This
or
is
we
a
can
good
get
one.
into the
Well,
next topic.
I was
Oh.
kind of curious how this plays out.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Yeah, I'm kind of invested in what's
Yeah,
going
we're
on
here.
here.
We're here now. Go ahead. Let's get into it.
Yeah,
Which
I
meant
want to
that
know.
under our law, he's not even allowed to be present in the United States and had to be returned because of the foreign terrorist designation. This issue was then, by a district court judge, completely inverted, and a district court judge tried to tell the administration that they had to kidnap a citizen of El Salvador and fly him back here. That issue was raised to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said the district court order was unlawful, and its main components were reversed 9-0 unanimously, stating clearly that neither Secretary of State nor the president could be compelled by anybody to forcibly retrieve a citizen of El Salvador from El Salvador, who again is a member of MS-13, which, as I'm sure you understand, rapes little girls, murders women, murders children, is engaged in the most barbaric activities in the world. And I can promise you, if he was your neighbor, you would move right away.
So you don't plan
But
to
the
ask for
Supreme
it
Court
to
is
get it
asking
back?
to.
Is that
What was
Listen, if you've been in a car accident, don't call an attorney. Use this AI app
So-
instead. That's what I.
At the end of the day, America just standing on business again. You know what I mean? You could have got away with it in the last minute. If it wasn't for those darn Republicans, they would have got away with it. You know?
I mean, there's no reason to have him back here. It wasn't anything done on our soil.
How was he here
Keep
in the
it
first
away.
place is the real question.
No, that's not really a hard one. That's not a
I
hard
didn't
one
say
at
it
all.
was a hard one. I
MS-13
said
can
that's
get
the real
these people.
question.
Bro, MS-13 gets these people wherever they need to go all around the world, all around the entire world.
Talk about it.
You know how many Salvadorians are here in Tennessee? Just Tennessee, bro. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's its own community at this point. Yeah. I'm not even the Guatemalans, the Salvadorians, all of the little Spanish communities, the little island Spanish communities. You know how many of them are out here building fucking restaurants and making their own businesses. You know what I mean? Like, and here in this state, in Tennessee, for a fact, I know a good 65% of Chattanooga is ran by Spanish people. And they're
Yeah. I didn't see a lot of Spanish people when I visited, bro. I seen a lot of white people.
It depends
But
on where
maybe
you
that was
were.
just that part of town, you know.
Yeah, it depends on where you were. If you go to Cleveland, if you go to in the smaller places of Tennessee, I'm telling you, all of it has been built by Spanish people.
Say that.
It's crazy.
So the next topic I have on hand for us tonight, right? A prominent school, a prominent college. I take that back and give it its due respect. A prominent university got its funding rejected for not following Trump's demands.
Huh. Wasn't this am I allowed to say the school name?
Yeah, I was gonna get to that, but if you want to go ahead and spoil it for
Go
the
ahead.
people, go
No,
ahead.
I'm not
What
into
school is
spoiling
it?
I'm not spoiling anything.
So yeah, they got pulled. They funding got pulled $2.3 billion.
Yeah.
Can anyone take a guess at the school?
Wasn't it it was a very, very known university too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to cheat. I don't know at all. I would have to look it up.
Take a guess. Just take a whimsical guess.
Like, was it Yale?
Berkeley?
Close. No. Chaos. You go.
I said Berkeley.
Nope. It was Harvard.
Harvard. I knew it was one of the biggest ones. I couldn't remember.
Harvard's
I knew it was one of the
investment
biggest
portfolio
ones.
is so big. I don't even know why they'd be crying about it.
Right. They don't give a fuck about that.
I'm not saying that they do. I just wanted to point the finger at old Uncle Donnie. You know what I'm saying?
Time
Because
out.
I don't know if y'all remember, but I
What's
remember.
the demand?
We'll get into that. Just let me hold up. Let me cook
He said,
here.
I'm
Let me
cooking.
cook. I remember when Trump put those grants out for HBCUs, right? I
Yep.
forget the exact dollar amount, but he gave each HBCU funding. Then soon as the Biden administration got into office, that funding was cut. And now I think Trump just, putting his foot down on because at first it was Colombia. They had something going on with the what was that? The deporting of the
Trying to deport the protester.
Man,
that was
speaking of
protesters and
school,
this and that.
it's one of the only debts that is not forgivable. Just throwing
What was
that out.
that?
School loan. It's the only debt that's not forgivable.
Right.
It is.
You gotta say
100%.
that.
If you claim bankruptcy, guess what stays? Your
Yeah.
student loan.
Right. You fucking right.
You have those for life.
Yeah.
Now, why is that? Why is it student loans is the only debt that you can't forgive? What is that about? What does that tell you right then and there? What does that tell you?
As a part of that Rockefeller legacy.
Correct. Because they're making so much money. So hand over fucking fist, we have the best schools in the entire world. You think we're going to fucking allow those to be utilized for free? Never.
Can I get a
Never
free
in a billion, trillion fucking years.
Can I get a free timeout?
Huh?
Can I get a free timeout?
Yeah.
All right. So this fool here just said that he gave money to the HBCUs, and then as soon as Biden got in, it stopped. But you want to blame Trump? You can't, bruh. That's what they do. That's what they do when a new
They
guy
give
comes
it
up
and then they take it away.
I'm gonna take away the good stuff that you did and then blame it on you, even though I'm the one in the office taking it away.
That's what they did with Obamacare.
Don't fall for that crap.
Yeah.
Don't be one of those guys. Don't do that.
They tried to do that with Obamacare.
Jesus. Yeah, exactly. Jesus. Don't.
And guess what? Guess what I got right now?
Listen, first of all, I
got
feel like that was a
Obamacare.
trap. Did you try to trap me with that or something? Did he do that on purpose?
Nah, you just completed my thought. That's it. It was beautiful watching it
He's
just come into
baiting.
fruition like that.
Are you baiting conversation, bro? Is that what you're doing? You
don't-
old hound, you.
I'm being manipulated.
That's what I'm supposed to do. What do you think the
I'm just
host is
fucking
here
with
for?
you. I know, nigga. I'm just playing.
It's y'all two personalities that's running this show.
That is pretty fucked, though. You know, even though
Now, this is my curveball for the night. I'm just putting it out there because we're gonna sit here for a minute. You feel me? We're gonna sit on this one for a minute.
All right.
Now, I got a question for both of y'all. Y'all got 5 minutes to give y'all perspective in the fullest detail possible, right?
Okay.
Here's the question. If gentrification brings new resources and investment into historically undeserved neighborhoods, is it still a form of systemic oppression or a necessary evolution for urban economy?
That's too much going on, first and foremost.
Think about it.
No, I
It's
mean,
basically asking you.
I need you to repeat the last part of the question, sir.
Okay. I'll repeat the whole question. If gentrification brings new resources and investment into historically undeserved neighborhoods, basically the hood, is it still a form of systemic oppression or a necessary evolution of the urban economy?
All right. Who wants to go?
You're our guest. You're up first always.
So the reason I said that's a lot is because first and foremost, What is the fucking what is it that you're saying they're bringing? I mean, you said they're bringing jobs and new opportunities. What is that? Is it a liquor store? Is it a fucking McDonald's? Is it a gun store? Is it a pawn shop? You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
gentrification usually.
I understand what gentrification is. That's not what I'm
Well,
saying.
that's what
I
we're
get, I
talking
give
about.
that.
Those
Correct.
the
But you're
new
saying it's
resources
going to
can
bring
come.
opportunity. These gentrification, you're saying into an urban community is going to be what? White business owners.
Okay.
That's what
Right.
the fuck I'm
So
saying.
right.
So what do
So
white business owners own? McDonald's, corporations. So I'm asking, what is it that you're saying is coming to these communities? It
okay.
depends.
Here's the problem with the question. The problem with the question is the intention behind the word gentrification is the purposeful displacement of the lower classes by the higher classes. So you actually use gentrification incorrectly because it is not the investment in order to improve the neighborhood. It's literally the displacement of the lower class. And so that doesn't even go together.
Well, I
So
mean, those go hand in hand, though. As soon as you bring something out into
what I'm saying,
a
the intention behind gentrification specifically states the
so what
displacement
you're saying it automatically has a negative connotation attached to it.
when the money comes in, and the direct result is the displacement of the lower class. That is gentrification, and that in any and every form is negative.
Is oppression. Correct.
Every form, yes.
But
The
what I'm
only
saying,
way the only way it is not gentrification is if the local government and or business people properly invest in the people that are there, stay there, and they increase in value along with the properties.
yeah, well, that ain't gonna happen. The whole part of gentrification is to buy them out and fucking restart, break it down, and rebuild. You know, it has that negative connotation on it, like you're saying, and you know, it's. I don't believe that anything positive is going to come from any type of gentrification.
Right. Yeah, because I'm saying like the
It's
word
just-
usage of the word in itself is
Mhm.
negative.
Yeah, it's a vague. It's a very vague. It's like an umbrella.
But there's
You know,
nothing positive about it.
yeah, correct. No, I agree. I agree.
You
So,
cannot spend gentrification in a good way in any form.
No, I agree. What
so,
do you
so we
think?
got y'all. We got y'all in agreement upon what we just discussed, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, just to play devil's advocate.
Oh Jesus. Oh boy. I'm waiting to hear this perspective.
So, just to play devil's advocate.
Oh boy.
Yes, it does deal with the displacement of lower class people, but who's to say that that displacement doesn't serve them better?
What are you saying? Like survival of the fittest?
Not
Fuck them if they
survival of the
can't get with
fittest,
it.
but let's say, okay, we're all familiar of the neighborhood environment, right?
Right.
Right.
Right. So
The
being displaced
displacement.
from that environment into a new environment, let's say, just for the sake of the argument, that you do better in this new environment. Did the gentrification have a positive influence or a positive effect on you?
Okay, so check it out. First of all, we're just going to kill all the generalization by saying the intention behind the word displacement shows that the destination assumed is negative.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess there's really no way around it.
So again, we cannot say that when the words behind the the issue, gentrification,
He came right back to
displacement. There's no way around it. There is no winning. There's no positive. If somebody wins, they will be few and far between. They are
it's
those
not a big enough
diamonds in the
probability of
rough,
people.
and it is not be, and it would not be the result of the gentrification. It would be from a overpowering positive influence other than the gentrification. That would just
Yeah.
be a factor in their story.
Yeah, I mean, I believe on a bigger scale, they're not going to allow that. I mean, we've already tried. Black Wall Street, things like that. We've already tried to do things on our own accord. And
Talk
as
about
soon
it.
as we start getting some type of 40 acres in a mule in one way or another, they kill the mule and burn the fucking land. So,
Talk about it, bro.
you know, I mean, at this point, the only thing we can really do is play by their rules until we are the ones making them.
And speak.
So to say, I mean,
It's
it's
too
what
early to get banned. We ain't gonna go there. We ain't gonna go there.
I mean,
But yeah, as prophets say, at this point in time, man, the game so far ahead. Like you don't play by the rules, then hey, he's gonna like.
that's your ass, Mr. Postman. You feel me?
I told you. I told you. I told you.
I told you.
But yeah, bro, that's pretty much what I want to bring to the table tonight. I pretty much like where you boys went with it. Overall, it was a setup question. I set it up that way just to, see who would peep the bullshit that I was pitching. Chaos.
It was definitely a loaded question, and there was no
Yeah.
fucking way going around that at all.
No, it was definitely done purposely just to
He
really make you guys ponder like
he
they're
he
really a right or
knows
wrong because
he knows
basically is it really gentrification or is it really re-gentrification? Because if you ask me, all of America is already gentrified already. It's just time
It's always
for a
been
revamp.
I mean,
You can't get along with your neighbor. You don't need to be in America. You know what I'm saying?
history repeats itself. That's each era gentrifies the next.
Yeah. I mean, at one point, I mean, it's probabilities. If it's math, it's no way around this either. But everyone's going to be melanated before the end of the population of civilization. Everybody will be melanated
Hey,
at
what's
some
the white
point. Huh?
with the white lady with the blue eyes who be teaching? She said that white people are going extinct.
They are. She's 100% right.
Hold up.
They are
Us
going
at the table of greatness. We
What
do not know that. We do not know that woman name. But
Susan,
white lady with blue eyes.
It's Dr.
That's kind of
Susan.
crazy, bro.
It's Dr. Susan something.
That's kind of crazy, bro.
She does all the blue eye, brown eye experiments, and she does a lot of lectures.
But she is right. She is right. White people are going extinct. They are 100%.
I know exactly the video.
They're dying off.
She broke it down. You want to pull that up for us, Chaos?
Oh, I shut down the workstation.
Melanin is a superpower. Melanin is an actual human being superpower.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the powers of melanin? Do you know what it does just for your body, just for your white blood cell count, of your immune system in general?
Talk to him.
Man, so the properties, it's almost like an alkaline that you have in your melanin. And it's like a coat of armor. So the pigments in your skin, their cells, and people that have melanin, all of their cells are like this, fused together all the way through your body and your skin. And that's what creates that pigment, is cells. Mm-hmm. So that means you have more skin, a thicker layer of skin, a more dense layer of skin than, say, someone with a very less pigmented melanated skin, which means their immune system will be lower. They'll be more prone to what is it? Anemia. They'll be more prone to bruising easily. They'll be more prone to gout, certain different types of problems with circulation, cardiovascular problems, spider veins. You ever seen spider veins on an older black woman? Not really, right? But them older white women, you ever see them legs? Good God. They run all up and down them legs. You know what I'm saying? Like lightning bolts. And that's because they have more cardiovascular problems. They have more problems with their veins. They have more problems with their circulation. Their blood doesn't flow the way that it should. And that all stems from the amount of melanin that you have in your body.
Oh, I was wrong. The lady's name is Jane Elliott.
Jane Elliott.
That's why it's important to pull up people names so we could accurately know who we
White
talking
lady
about.
with the blue eyes.
Somebody was
White
going to
lady
correct.
with blue eyes was crazy, dog.
You might as well just said that one bitch.
You know, quick. Yeah,
Man,
quick.
look, y'all gotta chill, man.
I'm just playing. Cut that shit out before you put this on there. Cut that part out. I didn't say that.
Hold on.
Come on, man.
I'm sorry, Miss Lady, if you ever watch this video. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
I was just joking.
Don't even know, man.
You know, Crucial scared to get flagged.
But yeah, you know why I know all this though? I've been doing a lot of research on melanin ever since my son was diagnosed with the rare skin disease that he has. So I've just been, ever since he was born, almost 4 years now, I have just been doing so much research on melanin and how rare it is. And actually, though, I came across an article that it was talking about this scientist. It was like in the 40s or the 50s, but he was caught. He had a whole bunch of black people, and he was doing experiments on them, trying to extract their melanin from them. I'll see if I can find it. I want to watch this though. I'm in.
On you, Chaos. What you got up for us?
The experiment I was talking about. This Dr. Jane Elliott, I believe she's a doctor.
That look like Oprah.
Yeah. She's introducing the lady. This is when she was on Oprah show back in '92, I think. Yeah, 92.
Wow, 2 years old. Boy, God.
Yeah,
Boy,
young
that's
love.
how they used to dress too. You see that how do, but Oprah was slaying it back then, boy. That's in her prime right there.
Hey, look at them shoulder pads. She was ready to
You
play
see the
football
shoulder
right
pad
after.
like you on the football field real quick. Bust your ass, bitch.
They've walked into this exercise. It's an exercise in racism. And my guest, Jane Elliott, started this exercise a long time ago in her third grade class back in 1968 after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. What she's going to do is to demonstrate how easy it is to learn prejudice. The point being that we are taught to hate each other on the basis of the color of our skins. So today's audience was separated into two groups, not on the color of their skin where they separated when they arrived. They were separated based on the color of their eyes, but they have no idea that they were separated. What we did was treat each group differently, discriminating against the people who have blue eyes, catering to those people with brown eyes. So here's how the blue-eyed people were treated when they arrived at the show.
Come on. What color your eyes? Blue? Over there. Put it on. No. Over there. Blue? Over there.
The blue-eyed people were pulled out of line, told to put on a green collar and wait outside. When the brown-eyed people arrived, they were told to step to the front of the line. Our staff was instructed to be extra polite to brown-eyed people and to discriminate against blue-eyed people like this one.
I understand that, but actually my license got stolen. And when I went to replace it,
That's not our problem. You always have to have our
Audience members with brown eyes were allowed to enjoy coffee and donuts. Those with blue eyes were left standing in a crowded room without refreshments for over 2 hours. The blue-eyed group became upset when they saw the brown-eyed people were being seated first.
What are they doing in there? Yes, we know what it is.
A woman with blue eyes was outraged when she realized we had fed the brown-eyed people. After 2 hours of being discriminated against, the blue-eyed group began to revolt.
Need everyone here to shut up, please. Shut up, please. Shut up.
So I just want to warn all of you who are watching, you know more than they know in the audience. This show is a very important lesson in racism. It may make you angry, but no matter how angry you get, I encourage you to please don't turn the channel, because the purpose will be revealed before the show is over. The idea is to see how easy it is to be taught to hate. What color eyes do you have? It really doesn't matter, just as it doesn't matter what color skin you have. But I want you to watch as my guest convinces this audience that blue-eyed people are not as smart as brown-eyed people. Just as
Y'all trying to watch the experiment?
It's
Nah,
reminds
bro.
me of some MK Ultra.
Nah, I'm good.
Listen, it's probably
There's
one
gotta
of
be a
the
page out of
best.
MK Ultra.
Listen, it's one of the best social experiments to this day, even as old as it is, because
As
it
old
was.
as it is, did it come from MK Ultra?
No.
Okay.
She actually is. A lot of white people don't like her because she's very clear about the differences, and she's very pro. Understand that black people have a lot going for them.
Facts.
Yeah. She's definitely the truth. Her lectures are very insightful, and it's so funny that the Oprah did all that talking. I really want the lady who was talking to moving the people in the line and move the lady to the left real hard or whatever. That voice that sounded like that was her. That was the
teacher.
It's Jane Elliott I was talking about.
The actual teacher.
All right. But yeah, it's
I like that.
It's a lot going on.
Hey, nah, I ain't gonna lie. When bro said, "Hey, that ain't our problem," that just took me out, dog.
Bro,
like
they had no clue.
So she
Now,
really
what killed me was nobody likes to be excluded more than a white woman.
I seen this video, bro.
She was pissed.
And dude was like, he asked all his homeboys, let's just tell me what you're afraid of, your greatest fear. Dude said, I'm afraid of getting shot. Understandable. Other dude said he's afraid of heights or falling out of a plane. Moral of the story is, last dude said he afraid of a crying white woman pointing at him.
Oh,
nigga ain't never survived that shit.
That's a fact, man. R.I.P. Emmett Till.
Oh,
I was like, yo,
Prophet, you petty as hell for that one.
Oh, I wasn't trying to be for real though, man.
That's
like
hilarious.
That's crazy. And then the bitch came out and said that he didn't do it before she died. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Oh, I hope she's burning in hell. Hell. That old bitch at the end of her deathbed said, you know, that nigga really didn't do that. Oh,
what you want the Klan to come out and be like, well, we apologize for killing that Negro.
Like, bro.
Man, we gonna get banned by the morning. We can't put this out, bro.
That shit was crazy. It still blows my fucking mind that they just was like, oh, well, you know, she's old. You got a fucking black man killed for no reason.
I mean, you can use the first 30 minutes, crucial.
Yo,
I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna try.
We're
We'll
gonna have
see
to
what
find
happens.
underground place to upload this shit where we could just say whatever the fuck we want. You know what I'm saying?
Shit, they got a couple of platforms. Damn, what they call that shit? Pepperbox and Patreon and.
You know, I've been listening to the Joe Rogan Experience lately, and I have to say, I really like his podcast.
Yeah,
he's some dumbass off the wall shit, but it's something that where you're just like, you know, I'm gonna fucking. It's entertaining. You're gonna listen. You know.
Yeah, he definitely a real deal explorer.
Yeah.
And with that, this
I
has
went
been the
all over the months.
episode of the Table of Greatness. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already, and let us know your thoughts down in the comments. Crucial out.